As they passed him, he immediately pulled a gun, held them at gunpoint.
A husband and wife kidnapped while out hiking in Jefferson County. How a stranger on the trail was able to help them escape.
Thank God for the witness being where he was in the quick action and staying on the phone with us.
The challenges with finding a new car to buy are still happening 2 years later. How the chip shortage is also now delaying the financing process, and when this could finally be resolved. And it's no secret that diversity within the publishing industry is lacking. We'll introduce you to the book influencer helping to change that from the inside.
Trying to keep myself cool. Don't want to get dehydrated, don't want to get overheated,
And feeling the heat.
Trying to stay hydrated.
The first heat advisory in Denver in more than a decade as hot weather takes over Colorado. First at 4, let's talk about that heat. It feels like a bit of an oven if you step outside almost anywhere on the Front Range as we take a live look over the Mile High City. I'm Jason Grenauer, joined now by Russell Haythorne and meteorologist Stacey Donaldson on this Weather Action Day. Stacey, you take it away first. This isn't exactly hockey/Stanley Cup final weather.
Oh, no, it isn't. It feels like summer out there, 100%. Our temperatures in the upper 90s and triple digits right now. Currently 97 degrees out at DIA. And then we have those triple digits the farther northeast you head out towards Sterling, 100, 101 for Greeley. And we even have 102 for Ray with 70s and 80s for the high country. Here around Metro Denver, 94 downtown. As I mentioned, 97 at the airport. And then we have 80s off to the west toward Golden and Evergreen, still 95 in Lakewood. It's a heat advisory in effect until 9 o'clock tonight. Temperatures near 100 degrees, which we are now feeling. Air quality alert. Looks like they just took it off this map, but it is in effect for the Front Range until midnight. As for a high fire danger, we have that for western Colorado at this point through this evening. Now, we do have scattered showers that have developed in the heat of the day, and these will continue for the next few hours for the higher elevations. Not a lot will make its way down across the Front Range. Estes Park to Allens Park, we have some lightning and some heavy rainfall, and that stretches out along I-72 as you head in the direction of Vail and down toward Telluride as well. So scattered showers all throughout western Colorado, but tonight in Denver, a nice mild evening if you're out and about. Temperatures in the 80s through 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. and then we're in the 70s after that. But we'll talk about the weekend forecast coming up.
All right, Stacey, thank you. Now let's get out to Denver 7's Russell Haythorne, who is joining us live. And Russell, you picked the right color both for the Rockies, but also the length of sleeves out there because it is just so warm.
Yeah, Jason, no long sleeves on a day like today. It is another scorcher in the Mile High City. Definitely hot out here, nearing 100 degrees. We have some video to show you from earlier on how people in the Mile High City are beating the heat. We found some people getting creative for sure. A lot of kids and families and even adults found the fountains at Union Station as a nice way to cool off. Again, it's nearly 100 degrees today in Denver. As for those who have to be out in the heat for work, we caught up with Isaac Killingsworth, who delivers flowers for his aunt's flower shop called Pickletown Flower Company. He too has some tricks up his sleeve for keeping himself cool and keeping his product from wilting in the sweltering heat.
You just blast the AC. It's not out of the shop for more than 30 minutes before it reaches the place, and then it's all good. It's not too hard coming from Florida. It's a lot drier, so it's a lot easier for me to keep up.
Got myself wet. Trying to keep myself cool. Don't want to get dehydrated, don't want to get overheated. We hopped on, came right here, hopped in the water to cool off. Did you guys have fun in the water?
Yeah.
Yeah, now we're gonna get some ice cream.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna hop back on the train in time for nap.
Ice cream is definitely a good way to cool off. We're lucky this afternoon here in the 4 o'clock hour we have some cloud cover, so it is helping to cool things off. But experts generally say keep yourself hydrated, wear a hat, and wear lots of sunscreen. You're definitely going to want to do that if you're heading to the huge Avs watch party over in the Tivoli Quad this weekend. Coming up tomorrow, they're going to have misters out there, water stations, and just lots of ways to help you keep cool. We're live in downtown tonight. Russell Haythorne. Jason, back to you.
Russell, I need to get some ice cream and a nap. That also sounds great, especially during this heat wave. Russell, thank you. Now, if you are headed to the Avalanche Game 2 watch party tomorrow at Tivoli, as Russell mentioned, you're definitely going to want to bring your sunscreen. A free concert by electronic music DJ Grizz will begin at 4:15. Of course, you can stay cool by watching indoors and watching us right here on Denver 7, because we are your home for the Stanley Cup Final, and you can watch Game 2 right here on Denver 7. Our pregame show begins at 5:30. We'll have a special post-game newscast right after.
The FDA has just given emergency use authorization for COVID-19 vaccines for kids as young as 6 months old. Now, this is for both Pfizer and Moderna shots. The CDC still has to sign off on the vaccines before kids can receive them. But the FDA approval does allow shipping to begin for health facilities that pre-ordered doses. A panel of the CDC advisors is scheduled to vote tomorrow. The Omicron variant may be less likely to cause long COVID than Delta. This is according to British research just published in The Lancet. Data was tracked through an app used by people in the UK to report their COVID symptoms. Now, during the Delta wave, 11% of people met the criteria for long COVID. Researchers define it as symptoms lasting at least 1 month after infection. During Omicron, only 4.5% of people met that criteria. As we learn more about mental health needs here in the U.S., the World Health Organization is providing some global perspective. It's the largest review of mental health from the agency. Some of the key findings include depression and anxiety rates were up 25% in the first year of the pandemic alone. People with severe mental health conditions died an average of 10 to 20 years earlier than the general population. Now, this is mostly due to the impacts it had on physical health. 71% of people with psychosis in the world do not receive mental health services. The majority of those that do live in high-income countries. Well, as Men's Health Week comes to a close, we're taking a closer look at some techniques that can reduce stress or anxiety in everyday life. Only about 28% of men practice things like yoga, meditation, and massage. That's compared to 37% of women. But psychology experts say regularly doing these things can add serious health benefits.
We have published lots of evidence, as well as many other scientists, to show that it is beneficial. It helps to reduce symptoms of stress. It decreases symptoms of anxiety and depression. It improves our well-being.
One fairly new trend is smartphone-assisted meditation. Basically, smartphone apps to help with a mindfulness practice. Now, these are shorter routines that people can do while exercising, doing chores, or getting ready for bed.
The data show this, that if we spend even the same amount of time as we spend brushing our teeth every day, nourishing our mind, this world would be a different place. And so it doesn't take much to get these circuits in the brain going. And then the key is regularity of practice.
And experts say it doesn't take long to see the results of a mindfulness practice. Many people notice feeling less stressed after a few weeks. Well, as we wait for the Supreme Court's official decision on Roe v. Wade, some abortion clinics are already preparing to see a lot of out-of-state patients. The changes they're making.
But first, we want to tell you about a frightening situation this morning out in Jefferson County. A husband and wife were rescued after being kidnapped while they were hiking near Bear Creek Lake Park. Here to tell us more about what happened and how that couple was able to escape, Denver 7's Micah Smith joins us now live. Micah, the sheriff's office and likely that couple must be very grateful that a stranger intervened here.
That's exactly right, Jason. Jeffco Sheriff's Office Public Information Officer Jackie Kelly told me that witness called 911 around 8 this morning. The witness described seeing a couple walking on that trail when they were stopped and held at gunpoint by the suspect. Deputies say, according to the witness, at one point, the suspect placed a leash around the woman's neck and began to take the couple off the trail. The male victim got the gun away from the suspect, and when officers arrived, they led the couple to safety and confronted the suspect.
He pulls a weapon, which we now know to be a taser. Our deputy pulled his firearm and fired a shot at him. He missed him. Another one of our deputies fired his taser, and the suspect was hit. That's when he was taken into custody.
Deputies say the suspect complained about injuries related to being tased, so they took him to the hospital. But when he recovers, Kelly says he'll have a lot of questions to answer, specifically why he did this and if he knew the couple, Jason.
Micah Smith tonight, thank you. Still ahead on Denver 7 News at 4, Stacy will have the full forecast on this very toasty weather action day. And not a whole lot of candidates to choose from. Why your selections can still make a big impact for the upcoming Colorado primary.
Even though people don't have an opponent, they still have to garner at least a vote.
Yes, your vote counts.